Hungry for week 3 of NFL Primetime? Could the Eagles hold on in Philly? Or did Junior put the Bolts over the top? Harvey Williams took it way over the top. But would it be enough? Oakland and Kansas City swing away in KC. The Saints got on the board early. The Rams got on the board often. The Oilers got on the board against the Browns D. And Barry finally got in the end zone. Stay focused. There's more. The Giants provided a spark for the Packers. At home, the Niners look to go 3-0. While Bledsoe's still looking for his first touchdown pass. John Elway's looking for a handful against the Skins. Hey, find a seat. We'll even do your nails. NFL Primetime. Next. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. Welcome to Week 3's edition of NFL Primetime. The usual suspects have joined me. Tom Jackson, it's Week 3, Bill 3 Pidto. That's this week's nickname. Hey, some great finishes, especially in the early games, and we can't wait to tell you all about them. First, let's get you caught up on the late games around the NFL. Supposed to be a shootout at the OK Corral, but the team that's been scoring touchdowns this year against the team that hasn't been, that's the way it turned out. The Niners 28-3, is that correct? 28-3 is a final in the Niners-Patriots game. That's just final. We welcome those of you that have watched that game. The Seahawks lead the Bengals 24-21, but about the 2-minute warning now, the Bengals have gone inside the Seahawks 40. We shall keep you posted. Blake to Pickens got him close with 3:18 to go. Finally, the Jets have a breather. They with 3 minutes to go, they lead the Jaguars 27-3 at the Meadowlands. Broncos had a big lead. The Redskins have roared back. That is 31-all now. Broncos and Redskins. Minutes ago at Mile High. Farrat to Galbraith. 1-yard touchdown has just tied that game for the Redskins. So the Broncos getting the ball. We'll keep you posted. And the Chicago Bears have gone out to a sold-out big sombrero, and they lead the Buccaneers 25-6 now. That is in the fourth quarter. Well, let's talk about a little history in Week 3 in the National Football League. A banner day in Carolina. Home opener for the Carolina Panthers. They won't go to their new stadium till next year, but still franchise home opener at Death Valley at Clemson. But as all of us have said from before the time the season started, it is apparent that the St. Louis Rams are on their way to the Super Bowl. Rams and the Panthers. And here we go. They're waving the flag at Carolina. Howard's rock. Would that give the Panthers some help? Who would carry the rock? Who would throw the rock? Tell you who would catch it. The Reverend Isaac Bruce. 5 catches for 100 yards. Here he cracks a couple of jokes. Isaac Lenny Bruce. Then Jerome Bettis, the battering Ram. 3 yards out. The Rams lead at 7-0. Second quarter. Frank Reich having trouble. Rolls out. Looks for Don Beebe. He and Shane Conlon used to be teammates in Buffalo. This is hello, Shane. Remember when we used to do this at practice? Was it an omen? Reich. Picked up by Roman Fife, number 58. A fife and drum play down to the 22-yard line. Then Reich would leave the game with back spasms after an ineffective outing. They bring in Jacques-Pierre Trudeau. Hello. Hit by Carlos Jenkins. It's a fumble. It's recovered by the rookie defensive end Kevin Carter. Rams in business again. And Chris Miller to Jesse Hester here, Tom.
Yeah, Jesse Hester for the touchdown. Look at him turn Rod Smith right there at the 10. Makes Rod commit inside. Then races for the corner of the end zone.
So Chris Miller celebrating, as is his coach, Rich Brooks. So many years coach of the Oregon Ducks. Used to coach Chris Miller when he was a Duck. Jack Trudeau to Willie Green, usually the color of money, but hit by Shane Conlon. Picked up by Anthony Parker. He did it 3 times last year for the Vikings. Look at him go. Touchdown, 21-3, the St. Louis Rams. Then more problems for Jack Trudeau here, Tom.
Yeah, the next possession, Trudeau looking for Don Beebe, but Todd Light, great inside move, comes back to the football as the receiver should have for the INT.
So Reich ineffective, Trudeau ineffective. They call Kerry Collins, the rookie, but hey, we all can throw interceptions. Picked up by Torin Doran. The Rams break him up. The Rams, there's no silencing them, and that's Brooks and Miller in their Oregon days. Here we are 11 years later. They're happy. The Rams are 3-0 for the first time since '89. That's the last year they made the playoffs as they shake, rattle, and roll the Panthers 31-10 I want to say this. This is the Rams' schedule. Home to Chicago, at Indy, a bye, home to Atlanta before they open up their new park on October 22nd against the 49ers. It is not out of the realm of possibility. They could be 6-0. Like we said, they're going to the Super Bowl. Inside the numbers, you know what the Rams did today? 5 more interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. They've taken the ball away 12 times. They've given it away none. You want to know why Rich Brooks and company are 3-0? When you're plus 12, you're plus 3 in the win column. That's the way it adds up. A far cry from the way they've been for most of the rest of the 90s. When we return, Cards, Lions. Somebody had to win it because the loser would be 0-3. Would it be Barry or would it be Buddy? Stay with us.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by Split Fire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more until you use it.
And welcome back to NFL Primetime. An amazing finish in Denver as on the last play of the game, John Elway to Rod Smith. Now we're going to give you the Bengals Seahawks score first. Doug Batson, the Pelfrey, missed a field goal with about a minute to go. And so the Seahawks have now taken over with about a minute to go, trying to run out the clock. It looks like they're doing that seconds to go. Now, John Elway has hit the Rod Smith, as I was saying, with a touchdown. They've just kicked the extra point, so Darrell Green gets beaten on the last play of the game, and it's over. The Broncos have outlasted the Redskins 38-31. We shall show you that a little bit later in NFL Primetime. Arizona and Detroit have both begun their what they hope would be quest for the playoffs at 0-2. And with Arizona playing at Dallas next week and Detroit hosting San Francisco next week in a Monday night game, you didn't need to be a computer whiz to figure out that the loser of this game at the Silverdome would be in big trouble. Buddy Ryan, 0 for 2 years as head coach in September of the Arizona Cardinals. Scott Mitchell, good coverage here, Tom. Where's the defense? Scott Mitchell to Brett Perriman, 39-yard touchdown, 10-6 Lions at the half. Third quarter, Lions have third goal from the 3. Mitchell to Johnny Morton, touchdown, but illegal motion on one of the best names of football, Zephros Moss. Both teams were horribly flagged, 25 penalties on the day. Then Mitchell to Herman Moore, but Aeneas Williams makes a big play to something on the 1 line, and then watch another big play.
Yeah, Seth Joyner coming in from the right side of your screen right there, and as Barry Sanders tries to get over the top, he gets underneath, holds on, gets help from the rest of that Cardinal defense.
So Garth, Tom Jacks, and the Cards celebrating there, Tommy, and then Barry gets his revenge. Look at him change field, and look at him go. He could go all the way. On 1st and 20, it's 47 yards, 76 Lions in the third.
Yeah, we talked this morning about Barry Sanders being his own misdirection. Here you see him start to the right, cut back left, and as we take a ground level view, you see that the defensive backfield is also out of position.
Now watch this play, Tom. Dave Craig fumbles, and from his knees throws a touchdown to Rob Moore. But it's no touchdown on a good call.
Yeah, you see the fumble right there. You see Craig pick the ball up, watch his knee down right there. Good call by the referee.
And touched there alertly by Mike Johnson. Meanwhile, Garrison first eye look at the Hurst with the Cards down 17-9. Makes a 28-yard run, setting up a field goal at 17-12. Detroit driving 5 minutes to go. You haven't seen this since December 92. It's been 3 seasons since the last fumble by Barry Sanders. But it's recovered by the Cardinals. And then Dave Craig on 4th and 10. To Anthony Edwards. Touchdown. They get 2 points at 20-17. 102 minutes to go. Can it be twice? Can lightning strike twice? Oh, my goodness. Barry Sanders has fumbled again. Clyde Simmons caused it. So despite 147 yards rushing, Barry Sanders, for the first time in 803 touches of the ball, fumbles once, fumbles twice. The Cardinals come from behind to beat the Lions in their building 20-17. It's the Lions that fall to 0-3 with the Niners on the horizon. Afterwards, Wayne Fontes faced the music.
This is the lowest I've been in probably my entire life coaching football. Embarrassed to take it like that and not make a place to win it. We had a chance to win and we didn't. We've had 3 chances to win and we didn't.
But man, I said, Tommy, on game day, and I guess I'm looking wrong, I thought so far, despite the 2 losses, that the Lions were the best-looking team in the North. They played Pittsburgh tough, played Minnesota tough on the road, but you lose the games like this. Wayne's been against the ropes before. These are serious ropes. What's happened here?
Well, that still may be true. I think when you look at that offense, you're looking for consistency. We all know they have Barry Sanders. So does every other defense in the league, and I think they gear up to stop Barry Sanders. He's going to get a couple of big runs per game. They need to get plays from other people, and I don't think that Scott Mitchell throwing the ball up for grabs to Herman Moore once or twice a game qualifies as a game plan, and it's going to be hard for this team to get healthy against the world champions.
I mean, they get 147 yards from Sanders. Perriman catches balls for 114 yards, but killer instinct, putting them away. They haven't done that. And the Cards, Dave Craig comes back, the team he led to the playoffs last year, and look what he does. 100-yard day for Garrison Hurst. When primetime continues, Giants and Packers, Robert Brooks keeping his eye on the ball. He's done that, replacing Sterling, hadn't he? And tip drill for the Browns against the Oilers. Stay with us. Well, primetime, a rivalry, Bill, in between Atlanta and New Orleans down south is kind of unknown around the rest of the league, but it's a very spirited one. Lately, the Saints have had the Falcons' number.
And also, one of the big things so far for the Saints, a new defense that's not really getting the job done. The Saints dumped the 3-4-D to go with a 4-3, and so far, not so good. The Saints' defense against the run is tied for 3rd, worst in the league, giving up just over 152 yards per game. On offense, the Saints' all-time leading scorer is Morton Anderson. In his 13 years as a Saint, Anderson beat the Falcons 6 times in the final 2 minutes. Now, of course, he's a Falcon. Let's pick things up in the first quarter. 3-0 Atlanta, a developing situation. 3rd and 2, Jim Everett. Quinn Early, look at him go. 70 yards for the touchdown, the longest reception of Early's career. TJ, what do you have?
Yeah, cornerback Terry Taylor, you watch him here. This is called squatting in the NFL. He squats right there at about 10 yards. It's like starting a sprint with Quinn Early and giving him a 5-yard head start on you.
Now 10-3 New Orleans in the second. Jeff George hits Terrence Mathis. Mathis now has 13 touchdowns in 19 games with Atlanta. TJ, we're tied at 10. Good protection here for George.
Yeah, plays are made by the team effort, and a lighter iron head here to the left of your screen. He's going to come right in the middle, and then look at him pick up the blitz right there to give George time to throw the football.
13-10 Atlanta in the third. Saints driving. Everett, great game. He hits a former Falcon, Michael Haynes. Touchdown. 17-16 Saints. Now to the fourth quarter. Everett back again, this time looking. He's got Wesley Walls, touchdown. Saints up 24-16. The numbers for Everett, 29 of 43, 370 yards, 3 touchdowns. George now, he would get roughed up. Hit by 2 Saints. Hits the head on the turf. Earth to Jeff. Come in, Jeff. Earth to Jeff. Oh, which way did he go? One linebacker here for the Saints. 6 minutes, fourth quarter. Ironhead, the former Saint, 25 carries, 102 yards. That touchdown. Falcons down by 2. They go for 2. George hits Mathis. We're all tied at 24 into overtime. Both teams had 377 yards heading into OT. Anderson getting ready. Falcons second possession in the OT. George for Eric Metcalf. Oh, what a grab here by Eric Metcalf inside the 5. And here we go. Anderson. His 4th field goal is good. He had 4 field goals in the game. New Orleans, take that. Falcons win 27-24 in OT. The 22nd game-winning field goal in Anderson's career. George, 27 of 39 for 386 yards and 2 touchdowns. Metcalf, 11 catches for 155 yards. Atlanta snapping a 6-game losing streak on the road. Just a Falcons' second win over the Saints in the last 7 meetings. And Chris, the Saints now 0-3 for the first time since 1980.
And you had a feeling that Morton would jump up and kick him. Well, never mind.
You can't say that.
It's a family show. We can say it on the re-air. It's after midnight. When 2 teams linked in history, certainly in the early 60s, the Packers and the Giants. It became known as Titletown, did Green Bay, when Vince Lombardi's Packers beat Allie Sherman's Giants 37-0 in 61. Lombardi would beat Sherman in 62 for another NFL title game. So kind of historic link between the 2 teams. Different sort of history today as the Giants went to Green Bay because Dan Reeves had never been 0-2 in his 15 years as head coach anywhere. He certainly didn't want to become the first time he had seen 0-3 as a coach, assistant coach, or player. Lambeau Field, the tundra not yet frozen. Brett Favre not frozen, at least not early, to Dorsey Levens for 7. This is that offense when it's clicking. Not a pretty play, but Robert Brooks, 2 yards, keeps the chains moving on a first down. Favre to Antonio Freeman, 19 yards, up the middle, at a first down. On 3rd and 4, Favre to Mark Chmura. Needs to see Vanna for some more vowels, but still it's a first down. 1st and 10 from the 11. Favre to Mark Mark Ingram, touchdown, beats Mike Kroll, 11 yards, 7-0. 5 different receivers catch a pass, and it doesn't get any better than cheeseheads and beer. Packers try to pour it on, literally, 1st and 10 of the 19. Favre's pass. Tipped by Philippi Sparks, Robert Brooks, touchdown, 14-0, Pack 19 yards.
Yeah, there's pretty good coverage by Sparks as he gets toward the back of the end zone, but great concentration by Brooks, not only to catch the ball, but then to get the feet in for the touchdown.
So Dan Reeves' Giants try to answer his Favre and Rutgers celebrating. Tom, you've seen that look.
I've seen it.
Dave Brown to Mike Sherrard. Look at Sherrard make a circus catch in front of Doug Evans. And the ref says, whoa, stop right there, young man. That led to a field goal, 14-3 Pack. 4th quarter, 5 minutes to go. Reggie White, how often has he been in the Giant backfield over the years? It's a fumble, but it's called incomplete. The Giants get a break. And on 3rd and 10 at the 21, what does Dan Reeves do? It's a drop play. Heischel gets only 6. Field goal, Giants do with an 8, 14-6. Reeves says, get me the ball, defense. So on 4th and 7, 21-yard line, under 2 minutes to go, they get him the ball. Brown to Mike Sherrard. Oh, Tommy, Craig Newsome interference?
I thought it was a bad call by the referee. Looked like a good play by the defense.
But it keeps the Giants moving. One last chance, 3rd and 20. Dave Brown picked up by Mike Pryor, who had prior commitments and didn't want to see this game go to overtime. And Dan Reeves, Giants, 0-3. 2 weeks from now, they play the 49ers. So they're looking at a big uphill climb. The Packers win it by the count of 14-6. Dave Brown threw 50 passes in this game, completing 23 for just 199 yards. Both Edgar Allan Poe Bennett and Rodney Hampton, each side of the ball, had 87 yards rushing. Browns and Oilers at the Dome. Chris Chandler has 5 badly bruised shoulders, so he wouldn't start. And the starting quarterback, Will Führer, steps into the breach for the Oilers. Führer pressured, picked off by Stephon Moore. Moore returns it to the Browns' 34-yard line, but that was the tickable of the day. The Browns didn't convert. No score into the 2nd quarter. Will Führer picked off again by Moore. You throw passes like this, they send you to the nuts in front. What happened, Tom?
Yeah, everything about this offensive play great here. You see the protection, the nice pocket. Führer gets in the pocket, throws a nice ball that just takes off on him, and Moore makes probably as easy a pick as he'll get this year. 3 at the football and a clean look at the sideline.
And so the Chiefs beat the Raiders 23-17 in OT in a very well-played, hard-hitting game. The Chiefs they only had 262 yards of offense to 344 for the Raiders, but the Chiefs get the win in overtime, as they did last week at home. And it's Kansas City that is 3-0 and really surprising everybody atop the AFC West, Tommy. And I think this game, and we only could show you some of it, but it really lived up to its pregame billing. The young backs, Harvey Williams, Napoleon Kaufman looked excellent. Marcus, guys came and they were ready.
And something that we don't see a whole lot of early in the season, a really good, solid football game played on both sides of the ball. I think if you watch the defensive line play, it was extraordinary today, especially in terms of the Raiders early with McLaughlin and Ball on their defensive front. But I think that the Raiders started to wear down a little bit in the second half. Their offense didn't give them a lot of help in the 3rd quarter. But I'm struck by Marcus Allen playing in that Chiefs uniform, and I have to wonder, what is Al Davis thinking when he sees him go past 15,000 total combined yards?
Well, he did not get his 100th career touchdown. That was before the Elliott missed field goal. But he did become the 5th in NFL history to join the 15,000-yard club combined total yards. He's got a way to go to catch Walter. He's not worried about that. Peyton, Dorsett, Jim Brown in 118 games. Eric Dickerson, Marcus Allen. That's a pretty impressive list. Welcome to it. Marcus Allen and the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are 3-0. When we continue, Colts and Bills, with the Bills defense being up to shackle Harbaugh and Marshall Faulk. Stay with us. In Buffalo, with the Bills 54-11 since '88, and old friend Ted Marchibroda in his Colts coach. Used to be the offensive coordinator. His quarterback decision, he started Jim Harbaugh, who has the best quarterback rating in football going in. Early on, pass interference on Thomas Smith gives the Colts a 1st down. Jim Jeffcoat, good defense for the Bills, except he lined up in the neutral zone. So same drive. It's Marshall Faulk, the money man in his 2nd year for the Indianapolis Colts. And there he busts in for a touchdown, 13 yards, dragging Mark Maddox into the end zone at 7-0 Indianapolis. Bills' first possession, Jim Kelly to the rookie Justin Armour Hot Dog. He takes it down to the 1-yard line. His first NFL reception. Then, 2nd and goal, Thermal Thomas Now watch what happens. Jeff Herron hits him. It's a fumble. The Cardinal Gardner from
Louisville, and they teach this at Louisville. We spend hours on it, covering the football.
He gets on the football, touchdown at 7-7. Harbaugh under pressure. Rolls right. Hits Marshall Faulk in the end zone. Touchdown, Tommy, 14-7. What a catch.
Yeah, you're going to see Monty Brown, the linebacker, lined up on Marshall Faulk. He's eyeing him. They're man-to-man in man-to-man coverage. Marshall comes right through the line of scrimmage, takes an inside move, races for the corner. This is not a great throw by Harbaugh, but Faulk does a great job of coming back toward the goal line and making a nice catch.
So it's 14-7 Colts, and Marv Levy says, let's come from behind. Second and 6, 0-28. Kelly out of the shotgun to Andre Reed. Comes down in Andre's hands to the Colts 34. 2 plays later from the 2, Thermal Thomas bulls his way in. Touchdown, his 50th rushing touchdown of his career. 14-14 at the half. Bills have kicked a field goal by Steve Christie, 17-14 in the fourth quarter. Marcia Broda says, all right, Jim Harbaugh, you've led us from behind before, but usually off the bench. But watch what happens. Bryce pops him, causes a fumble. Bruce Smith falls on it for Pop. 3 sacks, the forced fumble, and 7 tackles. Leads to a field goal, 20-14 Buffalo. Craig Erickson sat all day, hoping Harbaugh could bring his team from behind. They're just down 6. Harbaugh, this is what he does. Gutty, maybe doesn't look pretty, but he gets the first down. Then, 4th and 3 from the Bills' 47. Harbaugh, Sean Dawkins gets the first down. 28 seconds to go, 4th and 10 from the Bills' 34. He's spun around by Sam Rodgers, fires it. Yay! And the Bills take over on downs. They barely escape. But the Buffalo Bills got out a win over the Indianapolis Colts 20-14 in a day when Faulk ran for only 47 yards and Thurman Thomas 19 carries for 25 yards. And Tommy, the Bills win it, and each of the teams in the division, or except for the Jets, off next week. So Buffalo 2-1. They'll take it. They haven't looked pretty in any of them.
That's right. But I think that this is a game that comes down to attitude. I think that we can all expect that we're not going to see the brilliance of the past that we've seen from the Buffalo Bills. After all, they're getting older. But Marv Levy still knows how to win football games. His team knows how to win the close ones. I think that Marcia Broda is stuck with teaching a young ball club how to get over that hump. How to get over that hump and win football games.
You wonder if we're going to see in the Bills what we saw admirably, we might point out, in Chuck Noll. You stay with those old horses, and Pittsburgh remained a good team, not a contending team. I'm not saying that that's where the Bills are going yet, but you're starting to see some of those signs. But yet, they know how to win. They're 2-1. They're off before Monday nighter against Cleveland. When we return, plenty more in NFL Primetime. Chargers and Eagles in a seesaw battle at the vet. Randall, how did he do? Was he yanked? Had some. Randall Cunningham and the Eagles at home at Philadelphia. How long would Ray Rhodes stay with him? Remember, he yanked him early last week in their win against the Cardinals. How long would Randall play at the vet against the defending AFC champion Lightning Bolts? Randall Cunningham, fans, well, in Philly every now and then they boo, but they want him to stand up and take charge. Cunningham took charge early, looked very impressive. Swing pass to Ricky Waters, touchdown. 7-0 Philly that quickly, Tom. And it was raining, and it had its effect on the West Coast squad.
Well, yeah, the ball is wet. Natron Means here hits the hole. It just gets away from him. He's not hit, and Greg Jackson recovers for the Eagles.
Would Philadelphia capitalize? Ricky Waters, it's a yay! It goes out of bounds at the 1, and the quarter ends. First play of the second quarter. Philly maintained possession. Fortunately, didn't go through the end zone for the Eagles. Fred Barnett, all alone off the play fake. Randall, Eagles look smooth, 14-0.
Yeah, very nice play-action fake here to Fred McCrary. And what the opposing linebacker has to do, away from the flow of the football, is look up receivers coming across. You can see Junior Seau trying to scramble back. He knows it's coming, but he's a little bit late.
But it's 14-0 Eagles until Stan Humphries. Deshaun Jefferson moving on up. 38 yards. The big play Chargers strike at 14-7. Then Cunningham to Calvin Williams, and watch what happens. Willie Clark, boom, makes the nail, and Junior Seau, he could go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown. That Lightning Bolts lead at 17-14. What a great athlete. You saw him return a kick in the Super Bowl. Andre Coleman passed my ESPN partner Tommy Hutton, the kicker, number 4. He's gone. 24-14. Coleman, big day on the punt return early in the third quarter. Eagles down 27 to look at that, 208 yards today, returning kicks and punts. Unbelievable. But Randall looked good. Rolls right, go west, young man. Ed West. Touchdown. West Coast offense, throw to Ed West. 27-21. Tony Martin had 5 catches, but he had 13 last week because he dropped the ball here and had only 5. So the Chargers had trouble on third down conversions. Eagles had a chance late. John Gruden talking on the phone with Randall. What do we do? Well, this is the last play. You just throw it up and hope. Rodney Harrison, the young safety, going to be a good one, makes the pick. Randall took the hit, and the Eagles took the loss. Very impressive win on the road for the Chargers, who are still a more solid team than a team like Philly. They do all phases, or at least they got bailed out by some of their other phases today, as the Chargers spot the Eagles a 14-0 lead and win it by the count of 27-21, 122 yards rushing for Natron Means business. But a game that well, afterwards, I'll tell you what, Randall talked about the fans.
All week I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get booed, I'm going to get booed. And I said, you know, it doesn't make a difference. Maybe I'll change my middle name or my nickname, make my nickname Boo. Then when they're booing, it's like they're cheering me. People were in my corner, you know, and it was a great feeling. I think that's the great part about Philadelphia. You know, right when you think the fans are going to be one way, they turn around and they change for the good.
Yeah, he's right. That was the reaction. They wanted to see him lead the Eagles.
And let us say, first and foremost, this was not Randall's fault that they lost this football game. He played awfully well. I think people need to remember it took even San Francisco a while last year to get into their groove. They suffered the big loss to Philadelphia last year, 40-8, before they went on the winning streak. But looking at the Chargers, this is the football team that got to the Super Bowl last year. Natron Means, the strong running inside and outside the tackles, followed up with the long passes by Stan Humphries, and then an opportunistic defense that could almost depend weekly on Junior Seau making a play.
Defense and special teams. Special teams and defense accounted for 248 yards. The offense counted for only 270. Chargers doing things other than what you normally would think they'd do to win games on offense. And they beat the Eagles today. When we return, late games. Bengals Seahawks. But the Bengals go 3-0 behind Jeff Blake. Redskins Broncos, a wild one, and shades of a Rob Lytle play. We'll explain. And Patriots Niners, would it be a shootout or would it be something else? Atlanta Braves at the Cincinnati Reds, the two teams with the best record in the National League. Coming up with John and Joe, Sunday Night Baseball, 8 Eastern Time from Cincy. Welcome back to NFL Primetime. The Cincinnati Bengals could go 3-0, and they're in a city, Bill, which has been like their home away from home, at least on the football field.
Yeah, it's kind of like for them been waking up in Seattle. Under David Shula, Cincinnati has gone 4-21 on the road, but 2 of those wins have come at Seattle, including last year's 20-17 win in Week 10. It was Cincy's first win of the year, and it was the second career start for Jeff Blake, who threw for 387 yards. Bengals didn't score a touchdown, but Doug Pelfrey kicked 6 field goals. That, of course, last year. How about today? First quarter, Seahawks up 7-0. Jeff Blake, Darnay Scott in slow motion, going a lot faster than the slow. 88 yards for Scott. Going to tie the game at 7. Second quarter, Bengals on the D. Meyer sacked by John Copeland, his second sack of the day. Bengals now 13 sacks on the year. Seahawks would rally under 2 minutes and a half. Meyer buys some time, rolling right. Look at this crazy play. Rob Thomas, thank you very much. 50 yards. Tommy.
Yeah, we're going to do a little freeze here, Bill. You're going to take a look at Leonard Williams and Darrell Williams, the safety. This is what happens when you have your head back in the backfield. You see the quarterback scrambling. You allow the receiver to get behind you. The only question here was, would the ball get there in time?
Hold everything. Early fourth quarter, 17-7 Seattle. Meyer picked off by Roger Jones. Back the other way, 18 yards. Bengals down 3. Seattle responds on the 12-yard line. Chris Warren, a walk. Did he get touched? Touchdown, 24-14 Seattle. Bengals, though. 4th and 10. Watch this. Blake, remember, he needs 10 yards on a 4th and 10. How did he get the first down? He gets a first down. 12th play of the drive. Blake to Carl Pickens. Oh, a touchdown, 23 yards. Bengals down 3, 24-21. They get the ball back under 3 minutes to go. Look at this. Heave-ho. What goes up must come down. McGee says, thank you very much. Doug Pelfrey, a chance to tie. 49 yards out. Final minute of the ball game. Wide right. Wide right. Dennis Erickson says, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 24-21, Seattle wins. Seattle had scored 16 or fewer points in 5 straight games. They get 24 in this one. Just Seattle's 15th win in the last 51 games. Seahawks, 406 yards on offense, most in a game for them since 1988. Meyer, 21 of 30 for 279 yards. Jaguars and the Jets from the Meadowlands. It doesn't get any better than this. Boomer Esiason looking for the Jets' first win. It's Charles Wilson, 9 yards. Then Brad Baxter, screen pass. turns into an 18-yard gain. Then Esiason to Wayne Corbett over the middle, 11 yards, a free agent from Hofstra. Second touchdown in 2 weeks, TJ.
Yeah, some guys just have a nose for the ball. Here you see Corbett come in from the right side of the screen and literally take the ball from Charles Wilson.
Tough to talk on the phone with the son, but Boomer doing well on that first drive. Jets defense stifling. Hugh Douglas picks up his first NFL sack on this play, getting to Mark Brunell. Brunell starting for the injured Burline. More Douglas now, TJ.
Yeah, Hugh Douglas, one of the two #1 picks that the Jets have. You see him right here working on Jeff Novak, number 67, and making a way to the quarterback.
The other #1 pick, Kyle Brady from Esiason. Welcome to the National Football League. His first NFL TD. Jets up 23. Jags next possession. Lachey Maston, nice run. Whoop, lost the football. Kicked around. Bobby Houston says, hey, I'll pick it up. Jets capitalize Esiason. Charles Wilson, he's got 3 touchdowns now in 3 games. 27-3 Jets. Jets get a win. How about that? 27-10 is the final. The Jets snapping a 4-game losing streak at home. Esiason 27-43, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's now got 213 career TD passes. That's number 13 all time. And Rich Kotite had lost 9 straight. Finally gets a victory as a head coach.
He gets his first win as a Jets coach. Dennis Erickson, first win as an NFL coach. So congratulations to both of those gentlemen. Well, now we go to some guys that have won some games in the NFL before. George Seifert of the Niners, Bill Parcells of the New England Patriots. With Steve Young against Drew Bledsoe, you figure this game at Candlestick had to be a shootout between these quarterbacks. But New England, it was not. It surprised everybody. But New England found out you can only hold San Francisco scoreless and down for so long. Here we go from San Francisco. Bill Parcells, 2-3 lifetime against the Niners in San Francisco. Very early, Steve Young and the Undertaker. Vincent Brown comes up with the interception. Patriots in business, but they could not convert. Drew Bledsoe has not thrown a touchdown pass yet. He was hit. Ken Norton Jr. came through. He left the game for a series or so with an injured left shoulder.
Yeah, nice little stun here by Kenny Norton Jr. He comes in untouched and throws Bledsoe on his left shoulder.
49ers still trying to get on track. Did I see this? We saw Barry Sanders fumble. I saw Jerry Rice drop a pass. New England tries to get going. Bledsoe to Ben. Amazing Technicolor Dream Coats. We're moving up the nickname. He's that good, but it's a penalty. It's not a touchdown. Bar a field goal, 3-0 against George Seifert's Niners. Late in the first half, it is Young to Jerry Rice. How did he get open?
Well, the thing to remember is Jerry Rice is running this route, and you may catch a glimpse of him just in front. There's another guy who pulls the defense up right there, the tight end. Rule of thumb, something in front of you, something behind you in the NFL.
All right, so it is 7-3 of the Niners. Let's cut it loose. Young, Jerry Rice, touchdown. Just 56 shy of 200 touchdowns. 14-3 San Francisco. Bledsoe and the Patriots trying to answer. Looks to Vincent Ultimate Brisby, but Merton Hanks near the goal line, as he did in the championship game, makes the interception. Gee, Tom, could he make the Pro Bowl without Dion?
Maybe.
Yeah, he just might. Parcells says, well, what else could happen? Well, he watched. Lee Woodall drills Bledsoe onto the turf. Dennis Brown recovers the fumble. That leads to Young, who threw for 3 and ran for 1, getting it in at 21-3 Niners. Drew Bledsoe, a painful day for him, drives the Patriots inside the 20, but it's tipped. And Tim McDonald tips it. Merton Hanks has the ball. Number 36, Tipsy Doodles, goes down on the 12. Some celebration. Hey, McDonald's a Pro Bowler. Hanks is a Pro Bowler. Oh, those Niner DBs. They just might be okay. The Niners go on to shake, rattle, and roll the Patriots 28-3. San Francisco in 3 weeks has 12 touchdowns. New England in 3 weeks has 1 touchdown. New England held San Francisco down for almost a half. But you got to put pressure on them on the scoreboard, Tommy, because they're going to score in the 20s against just about everybody.
Well, it's a relentless offense. I think we talked about a lot of teams earlier today that don't have the killer instinct. When you talk about the San Francisco 49ers and the mentality not only is Steve Young's, but it stretches through the entire offense. They never stop wanting to put points on the board. So if you're not scoring with them, you have no chance to win today. New England couldn't score with them. Bill Parcells is a guy who always speaks his mind, and he told me a couple of times this year so far, we're not as good as people think, and that may be true.
Well, against the Niners, who is in their class, the Niners also 3 interceptions, 4 sacks today. So both sides of the ball for them. Let's go to Mile High Stadium where the Broncos hosted the Redskins. and Norb Turner. And the Redskins, could they pull an upset? 3-0 Broncos early. Brian Mitchell, sweep around right end, and look at him go. He could go all the way. 7-3 Skins, Tom.
Yeah, this is very similar to the old option play in college. Brian Mitchell acting as the quarterback after he gets the handoff. You see Steve Atwater spot shadow coming up. He ducks out to the pitch man right there. He had to make a choice of one of the two. Bad choice right there.
This is amazing. They got 6 rushes over 18 yards this year. They only 4 the entire last season. The Broncos lead at 17-7. Terrell Davis. It's a fumble. No, it's a touchdown. Shades of Rob Lytle against the Raiders 20 years ago. They call it a touchdown. There's no replay. Norv is furious. 24-7 Denver, but the gutty Redskins behind Gus Frerotte. The rookie Michael Westbrook playing in the shadows of where he played his college ball up the street at Boulder. Look at the catch that he makes, setting up a touchdown. 24-14 Broncos at the half. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. It's 24 all. Davis off left tackle. The rookie gets in there, 31-24 Broncos. But the Skins come back. Frerotte to Westbrook over the middle. Who needs training camp? Then Frerotte to Scott Galbraith, who authors a touchdown. 2 yards, it's 31 all. A minute to go. John Elway, how many times have you seen it? Elway, Davis, 7 yards, deep in his own territory. Remember, there's a minute to go. Elway to Ed McCaffrey, makes a catch at the 45. Elway to Davis, to the midfield stripe, doesn't get out of bounds. Elway, Davis, downfield. Not far enough to kick it. After 2 incompletes, a final chance. Elway to Rod Smith. Does he get it? Leaping between 2 defenders, one of them Darrell Green. 43 yards on the final play of the game. John Elway, one of the masters of the 2-minute drill, does it again. The Broncos beat the Skins 38-31. Elway 30 of 47 for 327. Davis had 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, haven't seen this since 1982. A sold-out big sombrero. The Bucs home opener. Playing Chicago. 3-0 Bears early. Trent Dilfer. Watt. Second pass. Trent Dilfer. Watt. 3 plays later. Trent Dilfer. Watt. Donnell Wolford picks it off. Oh, that Trent Dilfer. First half, not good. Alvin Harper in street clothes, thought he would play today, not quite ready. The Bucs weren't quite ready. 3-0 Bears, and the rookie Rashawn Salam, teammate of Westbrook's at college, up the middle, Tom, loses the football.
Yeah, Hardy Nickerson did a great job of not quitting on this play. He ran past it, then came back to the football, did a great job of knocking it out for the fumble.
It's a 3-3 score, then more Nickerson and Salam. The next series, Nickerson grabs Salam's face mask. Dave Wannstedt says, what is that? Salam would sit out, then rest of the half would return to the third quarter. More Bucs. Kenneth Gant, 5'11", takes on 6'4" John Theory on a kickoff. Eric Kramer at times looked like Dilfer, overthrows Conway. And then the next pass, tipped. And then look at this play. It's the best play of the day for the Buccaneers. The problem is, it was the mascot that made the catch from Kramer. Oh, that's director Rick Paiva moonlighting at the big sombrero. And Dilfer picked up by Jeremy Land of Lincoln. He could go all the almost down to the 10-yard line. Sets up a Robert Green touchdown, 16-3. It's the Bears. Reggie Roby. He takes a while. Come on, Reggie, hurry it up. It's blocked by Anthony Marshall. Grabs the ball. Doesn't need to look at his watch. It's a blocked punt, and it's a touchdown. Bucs have had 2 punts blocked in the last couple of weeks. That's Abramowitz, Wannstedt. It's not the same old Bucs, but unfortunately for one afternoon, it was. Got to give Wannstedt credit. You lose on Monday night. You travel on the road. Short week, divisional game. The Bears were ready. Dilfer and the Bucs were not. Hopefully those folks will come back to the big sombrero. They have a better product than you saw tonight. When we return, primetime players. We get some primetime performances today. We'll tell you about it and more numbers in a moment. And here's some numbers for you. 100-yard rushers in week 3 in the NFL. Barry Sanders, but alas, couple fumbles, and the Lions lose. Natron meant business. Garrison, first I look at the Hurst, and they won. Chris Warren, Ironhead, the 100-yard rushers on the day. 100-yard passers. Jeff George in a win, almost 400. Jim Everett in a wild loss to Jeff George. John Elway with the last 40-plus coming on the winner. Eric Metcalf had 155 yards receiving and 11 catches. Brett Berman had a big game for the Lions in a loss. Bert Emanuel, good game for the Falcons in a win. Isaac Bruce, man, he's one of the reasons the Rams are 3-0. Primetime players. Game ball goes to Terrell Davis, the 6th-round draft pick from Georgia. And I don't care that one of them was disputed, and rightly so. He had 3 touchdowns in the day, 2 of them rushing, 1 of them receiving. He added up 129 yards all combined. He's a rookie. He's made a difference for the Broncos. Billy, that's my primetime player. You?
I'm going with Atlanta's Eric Metcalf against New Orleans. 11 catches, 155 yards. Atlanta wins 27-24 in OT. Metcalf now has 30 receptions in 3 games, Tommy.
Yeah, Billy, I'm going to go with Stephon Moore. He had 3 INTs. He's known as a big hitter at the safety spot for the Cleveland Browns. He had all these interceptions in the first half and added 7 tackles. We'll be back.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by Honda's new powerful Foreman 400. Honda all-terrain vehicles, the best on earth.
Sunday Night Baseball coming up, in just a skosh. Reggie Sanders, one of the reasons why the Reds are running away in that Central, the Braves running away in the East. They've won it. And coming up at the top of the hour, Braves-Reds. Don't forget, Mike, Sterling, Joe, Mort, and the gang. An excellent Monday night game, Miami home against Pittsburgh. We got 90 minutes to dissect at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 on the coast, NFL Prime Monday. So that wraps up week 3 of the National Football League. The buys start to hit next week, so everybody has played 3 games, and then some teams get a week off. But in a very nice moment after the Chargers win over the Philadelphia Eagles, David Griggs, linebacker, was very popular with the AFC Championship team, was killed in the offseason in a car crash. He hails from nearby, from suburban Pennsauken, New Jersey. His parents were at the game in Philadelphia, and the Chargers, Bobby Ross, awarded his parents a game ball, an emotional win for the San Diego Chargers. For Bill Pidto and Tom Jackson, thanks for watching this edition of NFL Primetime. I'm Chris Berman. Hope you enjoyed it. Sunday Night Baseball, Braves and Reds. John and Joe coming up.
Thanks, Chris. Now, from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, it's ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Tonight, the National League Eastern Division champion Atlanta Braves with slugging first baseman Fred McGriff take on Central Division leading Cincinnati. It's the ESPN Sunday Night Game of the Week. The National League East, well, that's all wrapped up. Atlanta with the best record in the National League, 35 games over 500. Meanwhile, in the Central, more of the same. The Reds have the second best record in the league, way ahead, and they're just